But when I first realized I need to be speaking in front of people, I couldn't even get in front of 5 people. 5 people would be like my limit. And I pretty much had to have everything written down and just read it off because I would just get befuddled and stammer and stutter and forget what I was going to say. And if I stopped, I couldn't get started up again. So I had a lot of problems speaking. But I had to speak in front of people, in different parts of my life, like to speak in front of a planning commission or a city council about some, I had a business where we would have to get permits for things and stuff like that. And so I knew I needed to learn to do that. So I got some good advice from a few people who were pretty good public speakers. And one of them that kind of came from the same background as I had, in that he was not able to speak in front of people and he had to learn how. So that was pretty good guidance that he was able to give me, which was pretty much only speak about stuff you're really familiar with. So you have to practice over and over again. And then you've got to, this is what he was guiding me to do. You've got to speak first in front of people who are really your friends or really accepting of whatever you do and not going to be critical. So after a few times of doing that, and my first speaking in front of a larger group was probably 100 people at a user group. And that was part of the thing, was that people at user groups, in the old days, we had these user groups, they might call them meetups now or something, but it was a programmers meetup. And I had been asked to give a talk about some programmer topic. Actually, it was the topic I can remember. So I think this was in 1999. The topic was, how do you get a job when they ask for 2 years experience, and you can't get 2 years experience if you don't have a job, right? So this was for beginners in programming. And so that was my first talk on this. But I learned pretty quickly that you can't just show slides and read off the slides. And I learned to use the slides themselves to keep me on track. So I was very fortunate, not in my very first talks, but later, to be able to use images that my wife had made for some of her work, and they seemed to really connect with people. And so I used the slides to keep me on track. So if I'm in the middle of a slide and I forget what I'm going to say, I just click to the next slide.